Hi and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is all about why you should buy a new build home. So if you're interested, then keep on watching and please like and subscribe to our channel down below because it really supports us here on YouTube. There's also more information like this on our blog on rossingtonhomes.com, on our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Be here because you're considering buying a new build home, or maybe you've already bought one and you're wanting a bit of reassurance that it was the right thing to do. Now there's going to be pros and cons with any kind of property that you buy, whether that's residential, commercial, a new build, old, renovation, whatever. There's always going to be some positives and some negatives to the situation, but hopefully I can put your mind at ease that buying a new build is a great decision, especially when it comes to it being your first home or maybe your first family home. So one of the amazing things about buying a new build home is that all of the big expenses are already done for you. So there aren't going to be any nasty surprises. There's going to be a new roof on there, which can cost tens of thousands of pounds to do yourself. New kitchens, new bathrooms, new flooring, new electricals, everything's going to be brand new and also done to a certain standard. So it's brilliant for you. It's that peace of mind that you're not going to have these nasty expenses suddenly cropping up out of nowhere that you're going to have to pay for, certainly not for a long time. The second advantage, which kind of follows on from the first, is the protection that your new build home is going to have. So nearly every new build home is going to come with some sort of guarantee, and the majority of the time that's for 10 years. So there's various different companies and sort of insurances that provide this, Protect, NHBC. So all of these companies are going to give you a 10-year guarantee for your new home. And this is sorted by the developer. This isn't something you have to arrange, but definitely look into it. If you're thinking of buying a new home, make sure you have got that 10-year protection. So this insurance is going to cover you for any major structural problems. So if the developers and the builders making your home haven't made it to certain specifications, any problems relating to the quality of the build, that's going to be covered by this insurance. So it's a really great advantage which you're not going to get when you don't buy a new build. Even with a renovated home, these aren't the things that you're going to get included. Now it's important to mention that this doesn't include buildings insurance or contents insurance. So they're both things which you're going to have to get yourself to protect the property from things like natural disaster, fire and theft. But in general, it's going to protect you in terms of the house, and it will also protect you if there's any contaminated land issues. So if these haven't been identified before you buy the home, they're identified in the first few years you live there. If there's going to be remediation costs, then this is all going to be covered under that warranty. So that's a fantastic thing which can also allow you to sleep at night, knowing that these kind of major expenses, again, which can crop up through no fault of your own, are most likely going to be covered. Third advantage, this won't really apply to you if you're already in your new build home, but if you're wanting to buy one, there's not going to be an onward chain. So you might have to sell your house, but if you're a first time buyer, it's likely that you'll be renting right now. And that means that if you're wanting to buy your house, you really don't want to be waiting for somebody to move out. And you also don't want to risk that their their purchase of their new home is going to fall through, because then you might be ready to move into this house and it all falls through, again, through no fault of your own. So buying a new build means that that house is yours. You're going to be the first people to live there. So you know that that's not going to fall through when you're about to move in. So that's a brilliant advantage. Again, if you're buying your first home, or maybe if you don't have a chain, so if you're not selling a property, then it's going to be fantastic that you're not worrying about someone else's sale or purchase falling through. So the next massive advantage of buying a new build home is energy efficiency. So based on current standards and regulations, properties have to be pretty energy efficient when they're being built new. Now some of these old houses, they can get away with a little bit more, and if they've not been renovated especially. But with a new build home, there's certain requirements to do with the roofing, the heating, the insulation, that's got to make it reasonably energy efficient. So modern boilers, double glazed windows, all that kind of thing, current day builds are going to have really good energy efficiency. It's always worth getting the EPC of the property just so you can double check the energy performance and where that sort of fits in terms of the scale of things. Is it going to use a lot of electricity? Obviously the bigger the house, the more it's going to cost to run, gas, electricity, all that sort of thing. But it's really important to compare it to other houses nearby, but you'll tend to find that a new build home is going to have a really good energy efficiency compared to an older property, or even some renovations, depending on how much has been spent on that property and what's been done. Sometimes, not every time, you'll get a say in the design of the new home. So this generally happens if you're buying off plan, so that means the house hasn't yet been built, it's been designed, or maybe construction has started, so the foundations are in, maybe even the walls are in, but certain details need to be finalised, such as the flooring, cabinet colours in the kitchen, and the kind of interior design side of things. So if you get in there soon enough, so while the house is still being planned and developed, it's more than likely that you're going to get a say in the design of the house. And that not only makes it personal to you, but again, it's going to save you money in the long run. What you really don't want is to buy a home, move in, and then have to replace a brand new kitchen because it wasn't to your taste. So if you can, have a say in the design of your new house, make sure it's exactly what you're wanting, and then it's going to save you money, you're going to be much happier there, and you're probably going to want to stay there for longer. So another amazing opportunity for buying a new build home is the government's Help to Buy scheme. So the way this works is it's an equity loan, so a contribution towards the cost of your house, so the mortgage you have to get is lower. Now this only applies for new build homes. It has to be your first house, your only house, so you can't have loads of other properties and do this as a buy-to-let situation, but it's a really great contribution. Now it's interest-free for 5 years, so eventually you do have to pay it back, but that contribution can make it much easier to get your foot on the property ladder. So say, as a ballpark figure, the house you're looking at buying is £100,000. As the equity loan from the government, you can get £20,000. You need to put down a 5% deposit, so £5,000, and the remaining 75% will be made up in a mortgage. It was announced in the budget for 2018 that the Help to Buy scheme is not going to be running after April 2023. So this is the kind of time where you need to be using your Help to Buy equity loan if you're wanting to do that, rather than waiting a few more years when it's not going to be around anymore. So something that's really lovely about new build homes is the sense of community. So usually there's not just going to be one property, sometimes there are, but normally there's going to be a couple, maybe even more, maybe a whole estate. So something that's so nice about that is the other people and families that you're going to meet living in a new build home, because everyone's going to be in the same position, usually moving all around the same time. So it's quite exciting, sense of community and a new neighbourhood that forms as a result of everyone moving into these new build homes, which is a really great opportunity to meet other people likely in a similar sort of position to you. So I hope this has been a helpful video with some of the main reasons why it's a great opportunity to buy a new build home. If you want more information, please do feel free to get in touch. All our contact details are in the description box down below, and hopefully we'll see you for our next video.